If you're in a rush, skip to this timeline right here to get the nitty-gritty of the video. What's up, guys? Today I want to talk about branding, specifically social media branding. Let's try that again. What's up, guys? Today I want to talk about branding, specifically regarding a social media platform that boasts 327 million active users, Twitter. I'm gonna nail it this time. I got it. Branding is such an important aspect not only for careers but for personal reputation. Platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and Twitter help people of today's world brand themselves in specific ways for all to see. Whether it's a cool username like Stellar Strike, a pseudonym like Nano V Movies, or your real name like Jacob Mendez, your online identity will begin to mold with your reputation and be associated with your personality. So what happens when that username is unavailable? When creating a username, it's important to keep a few things in mind, like The Simpsons did it. Meaning, if you've come up with this idea, it's quite possible that someone else has. And unfortunate for you, it's quite possible that someone has already executed on the idea before you. So you may think you've come up with the most banger username that you could possibly think of, or that you are the only person on this planet with your name. However, this may not be the case. So don't give your hopes up. You may run into some roadblocks. Variants. Always remember that if someone's using the name that you want, you can try a variant of the name, like adding the or I am. Shout out to the Chris Howe. In addition to the usual suspects, like underscores, periods, and numbers. It may not be the exact username that you want, but it's better than putting a random assortment of letters and numbers at the end of your name. Taken? Not exactly. Just because the username that you want is taken doesn't mean that all hope is lost. The person that is dedicated to creating their brand is also the person that's not going to give up. Try messaging the user, bargain for the username. Maybe they just don't care about it and they're willing to release it for nothing. Whether you pay for them to release it or not, it never hurts to ask. But let's say there's a username that you want that's inactive, has no followers, no tweets, and it's been up since 2011. You've messaged the user hoping to get a response with no luck. Guess that's the end of it, huh? Time to add those numbers or come up with something different. Well, not exactly, especially if you want to use your own name. Twitter is an established, bustling, very hard to reach platform, but it's not completely impossible. Some things do slip through their admins, this is to say specifically inactive users. Twitter's inactive policy states the following. To keep your account alive, be sure to log in and tweet at least every 6 months. Accounts may be permanently removed due to prolonged inactivity. Twitter also states that they determine inactivity based on a combination of tweeting and logging in, and that you may not be able to tell whether an account is currently inactive, as not all signs of account activity are publicly visible. Twitter also says that they generally do not accept requests for usernames that seem inactive, giving the whole statement about considering variants like we talked about earlier. However, this isn't always the case. So what can you do if an account has been inactive for more than 6 months and you want the username? First off, confirm that the user is inactive. You can usually tell this by seeing when they last tweeted, if at all, and how many followers they have, if any. In the case where their information is private, message them a generic message or request to follow them and wait a few days to see if you get a response. The user of the account that I wanted, @JacobMendez, was inactive for over 7 years with no followers and a previous tweet that they used to own the domain jacobmendez.com, a domain which I now own. Which brings us to our second point. Buy the domain name of the username that you want. Having ownership will make your argument for the username more valid when you submit a form. More on that later. Thirdly, make a Gmail account using that username. Google's email service, Gmail, has a great platform that allows users that own a domain name to create an email using the Gmail service for a minimum of $5 a month, with a 30-day trial. I would recommend keeping the Gmail, as if you're doing this for branding purposes, it's important to have a clean email, but signing up is free for 30 days, and this will help you get the job done. Fourthly, submit an impersonation form. You can do this by going to your browser and typing in help.twitter.com/forms/impersonation. From here, click on "An account is pretending to be me or someone I know," and "I'm being impersonated." You then want to fill out the form, and in the "Anything else you'd like to tell us" section, type up a brief explanation of why you should acquire the username. Include in this box how long the user has been inactive, state that it is your name, and that the account is impersonating you. Sincerely state why you would like to use the account username and that you will positively contribute to the platform. Be respectful in your comments. Then upload a photo or your license or any kind of document identifying who you are and submit for review. Please note, this is not a quick method, and in fact, it's likely that Twitter will take a bit to respond and resolve the issue. It's up to you as a dedicated user to see just how much you're willing to put into that cause. I, for instance, if you search through my inbox for Twitter support, will find roughly 65 emails back and forth between me and Twitter. I submitted over 7 reports and kept a file of each reference number as to refer back to it when one became closed and I needed to open another. The key here is just to be respectful yet persistent. Don't demand for your username. This is a privilege you're granted when you decide to use their platform. After a while of back and forth and many different ways of explaining the situation, I was finally met with this email. Thanks for providing this information. In order to process a username transfer, please choose from one of the following options. Those options are to replace the username of an existing account or to create a new account with a temporary username that you can provide to them and they will replace it. They also let you know that if you have an email address at your official company domain, be sure to use that as it makes it easier on you and them. Once you reply with the account name, they'll replace the name of the account with the requested username. The transfer only changes the username of the account, so all the content will remain intact. This includes tweets and followers, so no worries there. Also note that your previous username will be immediately released for use by other accounts. And finally, this is not a guarantee that the transfer will go through. Things happen, so be prepared for that. Fortunately, after responding to them, I received another email stating, "Thanks for bringing this to our attention. We've now associated the username with the account you specified. Success." And that's how I got my name as my username. So that's it, guys. Sorry I didn't get a chance to film the outro, so I'm kind of just doing it on my phone right now on a balcony. Please like this video if it helped you. Dislike it if you did not like it, and please tell me in the comments why you didn't. Subscribe if you will. Ping that little bell to get a notification every time I post a video and get the modern day equivalent of a page. I will see you guys in the next video.